What again? Again, return.
Today, in the media conference with LAL GOEL, which is brought to you by V4 News, Caru News, V4 Stream, Malladu TV India, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan and Organ Donation India Foundation. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today, as you all know, the world is celebrating Father's Day. पिता में विष्णु, पिता में ब्रह्मा, पिता में देवो रुद्र समाये, पिता ही साक्षात देव स्वरूपम, पिता का विकल्प हो ना पाए. This beautiful poem was written by Mr. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔. He is the national president of Bharatiya Swarnkar Sangh. Whether he has written or not, but he has sent to me today morning. पिता प्रेम का हिम आलय है, वह दायित्वों का शिवालय है, लगता कठोर, दिखता अथोर, अमृत तत्व का देवालय है. This beautiful poem was written and sent by Mr. Paramatmanand Pandey. Mr. Pandey is the farmer and founder president of Utho Jago Foundation, Balia. He is also the feature editor of Now Bharat. Father's Day is celebrated on different days in many parts of the world, but most countries have now adopted the Father's Day on the third Saturday in June. In India, also people observe Father's Day on the third Sunday in June. Hence, this year it is being celebrated on Sunday, June 19th. A father's contribution to his child's life is tremendous, and hence, to acknowledge this precious and unconditional bond, every year Father's Day is celebrated. The idea of Father's Day was first proposed by Sonora Smart Dodd of the United States, whose father, William Jackson Smart, was an American Civil War veteran. Father's Day is not an original custom of India, but is rather followed by the influence of the Western world. This event is not a public holiday. The day is usually celebrated only in larger cities like Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, New Delhi, Bengaluru, Kolkata, Pune, and others. It is a huge holiday in the northeastern state of Nagaland, where prayers are held in church on Sunday services. After this day was first observed in the United States in 1908 and gradually gained popularity, Indian metropolitan cities much later followed suit by recognizing this event. In India, the day is usually celebrated with children giving gifts like greeting cards, electronic gadgets, shirts, gold necklace, coffee mugs, or books to their fathers. Father's Day has been related with a number of stories in India to mark the importance of father's love. The stories relate to the emotional feelings of son and father's mind on how they feel about each other. And by the time his son realizes his mistake, it is too late. Media conference with LAL GOEL wishes you all a very happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
The quality of a father can be seen in the goals, dreams, and aspirations he sets, not only for himself, but for his family. And to discuss this very, very important topic on a very, very important day, that is the Father's Day, we have a very elite, knowledgeable fathers from different sects of society. Panelists are with us, and I would like to invite my first panelist guest, and he is Mr. Ramnath Pradeep. Mr. Ramnath Pradeep is LLB PG Economics. He is former chairman and managing director, Corporation Bank. Mr. Ramnath Pradeep has served the banking industry for more than 37 years in various senior positions. His chairmanship in Corporation Bank had brought numerous awards to the bank. He put the bank on world map by taking keen initiative to partner with Commonwealth Secretariat for financing the youth as a social concern under Corporation Bank COMSEC Youth Enterprise Financing Program. He has also served as Executive Director of Central Bank of India and was also appointed as Chief Vigilance Officer in the State Bank of India and Bank of India. In addition, he had also been associated as Chairman of Corporation Bank Limited, Cobb Bank Securities Limited, Cent Bank Home Limited, Cent Bank Securities Limited, and member of Board of Central Bank of India and ILFS, besides other companies in the area of finance, information technology, Rolta Group, Retail Chain, Wadia Group, and Being Human, Credit Rating Advisory Services, etc. Currently, he is Chairman of Messrs. Trust Capital Advisors, Messrs. Credit Rating and Risk Advisory Services Private Limited. He is a co-author of book Financial Inclusion, Viable Opportunity in Urban India. Welcome, Mr. Ramnath Pradeep, on our show. Mr. Ramnath Pradeep, today's day is a very, very important day. Although usually we never celebrate Father's Day, but we all celebrate Mother's Day. And the messages, if you see on your WhatsApp also, you will find more messages on Mother's Day, very few messages on Father's Day. And always it is like, we have even seen practically, there is a question that Gen Next always asks, "Aapne hamare liye kiya kiya?" So when such type of thinking is there, although father is a silent, you can say hero, people say he's a hero, but always also considered as a villain also of the family. We would like to know your views on the very special day, Father's Day, Mr. Ramnath Pradeep.
Sir, good morning, sir. GOEL and good morning, our panelists, and happy Father's Day to all on this occasion of Father's Day. I would like to start that we are today, I think all the, except Mr. Verma, all of us are now crossed the father's position. Now we have become grandfathers. I think all of us must have gone through. So we are enjoying the grandparenting is up today. But as being a father, when we were all very young, the Father's Day I heard for the first time when I came to Mumbai. That is in 84, 85. Before that, I never heard there is a Father's Day also. Because it was never being celebrated in India, particularly in the small places like tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. But of late, when you are in metropolitan, it started that Father's Day, Mother's Day, and in some cases even Grandparents' Day also being celebrated. But let me tell you, we have seen how we have grown up when we were a child. When we have grown up, our growth has been not with the father. Majority of the time, our growth has been with the joint family where the grandparents were there. So we lived with the grandparents, and they have looked after us very well, and that's why we have been able to shape up as of today what we are there. So over a period of time, this has changed. Now it has gone to the nuclear family, and that's why there is the importance of the Father's Day, because most of the people now as of today are away from their parents because they are living separately, even though they are in the same city, but they are living separately. That's why they're realizing of as of today, joint family system, what benefit they got it, and today when they are living in the nuclear family, what things they have been deprived of as a parents, their love and affections, and also to keep their children updated in terms of taking care of their own children. So this is what over a period of this has already been evolved, and now as of today we are celebrating Father's Day. But for me, Father's Day has been every day, because there has not been any celebration, because when my child is staying with me, I can't celebrate every day. I am a father. I am supposed to look after, take care of him when he is a child, without expecting that when he grown up and I become older, that he will be also taking care of us. As of today, I think in the whole family system, this thing have gone. Earlier, the people used to feel that when I am growing up, my child will take care of me. which has, that system has getting over a period of time, and presently, particularly in the city, place like Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, some other city like Delhi, this type of the concept is going away. That when you were encouraging and when you were encouraged that you live with the joint family system, so that your needs are taken care, your children are needs are taken care, education is taken care. So these are the things which has over a period of devolved. My own perception is that as a parents, have you done enough? Let's talk, because we expect the children to do something. Have you done enough to our own children when it comes in terms of the education, when it comes in etiquette, when it comes to the value system, all these things, whether we have done it. Some of them, they have done it. So far, I can share with my own experience. I got one son and one daughter. Education side, both are well educated, both are IIM graduates. So I have and they have done their own. I remember then when they were in the school, my wife, she used to take, I was in the bank, she used to take them to, coaching classes and even tuition classes, all other places. So their attachment towards mother is more than the father. Now when they have grown up, they also split in the nuclear family. Today, they would like to be nearer to us. I have seen this. This is what perception has been created, that whenever they are there, they would like to be nearer. Even if my daughter, she is staying around 6 buildings away from us. So in case of there is a need for her or need for us, we are very closely get associated and for everything. So we still take care of them. They still take care of us. Another thing which we have also tried to evolve is care for the parents is very important. As of today, you may not be able to talk to your son and daughter on a daily basis, or you may not be able to meet on daily basis, but there is always a feeling. Have you talked to my son and daughter as of today? I can share with me. My son is staying in Vietnam, and he keeps on Singapore to Vietnam to Bangalore to Hong Kong, like that he keeps on. But every day in the evening, whole day, wherever he is there, once in a day, he will speak to his either mother or to me, invariably, for the last 16 years after he has left. So that is what I find, that he has learned something to take care of the parents, at least their well-being, though we are not dependent upon them, but there is a still feeling. And whenever we go and meet our grandchildren, they also have a feeling that yes, grandparents have come. Now, on this particular occasion, why we are remembering, the children, they remember their fathers, their the celebrations. Are they doing also enough? Have you done enough for them, or you are also expecting that they have done enough to me? I find that remembering on this day is not enough. Merely because 364 days you don't remember, 365 days you don't remember. Last day you send the messages, flower and some gift, and then you are satisfied. Yes, my son and daughter has remembered me, having sent the gift or anything. This is not what Indian culture has taught us. Indian culture has been taught differently, where we respect to the parents without asking for any anything. And when you were in the joint family, everybody was expecting from each one of us. When you are 2 brothers, 3 brothers and their wives and everybody, so there is still Indian culture, there is still a hope that the parenting and the father's importance of the fathers and parenting is still very important. And therefore, the people are now shifting. Therefore, now the people are trying to go back to the joint family system, which has always helped the child to get developed in terms of education, in terms of the etiquette, in terms of the value system. All those things have happened. But as of today, majority of the people are still like to have a separate life, where they feel that Yes, they are doing a lot of things for their children, and the parents are also being looked after. So with this, I find that let me be very candid in saying that though I am a father of 2 children, I am very satisfied in terms of their well-being, because they are well placed. They are not dependent upon me. Similarly, we are also not dependent upon them. But whenever the occasion comes, we very happily meet. We convey our good wishes. As of today, my son is in Vietnam, but entire family, they are there. Everybody has conveyed. So we feel that elevated. Yes, there is somebody who is there looking after every day, talking to you every day. So you get, even if they are not with you, you are satisfied that yes, there is somebody, in case there is a need, they will also come back. I remember I had a little mild problem in Bangalore, and my son went from Bangalore to Vietnam, but when he heard next return flight on the same day, same time, without changing the airport, he came back. So that got the different impact on me as well as for him also to look after. So these are the things. As of today, we are celebrating. We are celebrating Father's Day for a right cause, and this should be celebrated a little more vigorously. See, as of today, within the family and other places, we should celebrate, and not only celebrate only once in a day, once in a year, but if occasion comes, it can be celebrated little more, like a birthday, like anniversary day. That is also a remembrance. So the feeling which comes to us is different than the feeling when you are alone. You ask those parents, those who are not having the child. I know someone who is really my very good friend who stays alone. He is not married, but as of today, I can feel on his face what is he missing. He is missing the parenting, what he has done. So with this, GOEL sir, let me congratulate and wish you all my panelist friends also a very happy Father's Day, and we try to emulate or try to adopt. There are as well as weaknesses within the father also. It is not that father is all a hero, but it is expected, because today the child looks for in the father a role model. Can we become a role model for the father? I tell you, my grandchild, he asked me, what you were doing during this particular time? I have many times I have no answer for them, because our time we are different. Their time is different today. So the question comes here because they are more. They read little more. Though although my grandchildren are very below. Everybody is below 10. So there is a lot of challenges with them. There are a lot of challenges with us. But we feel very happy that yes, we are able to get them on board as and when required, get them take care of us. We can also take care of them. So that is how we are trying to meet together. And this is a value system which I have created. So this is with this, I'll just hand over to Mr. Goel.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ramnath Pradeep, for giving your views. Yes, you are quite lucky enough to have your children's and the dedicated children and your grandchildren, and we wish all the best on this Father's Day to you, your family. And I just received a message from Professor Dr. Usha Gupta. She was a former professor and head of the department of physics department, Holkar College, Indore, and she says very distinguished panel. So she has appreciated, and she is sending this message from California, USA. So she is also watching the show and giving this comments. Thank you, Professor Dr. Usha Gupta. दुनिया में केवल पिता ही एक ऐसा इंसान है जो चाहता है कि मेरे बच्चे मुझसे भी ज्यादा कामयाब हों. One father is more than 100 school masters. I would like to invite, I will not say school master, yes, Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran as my next panelist guest. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran is the former visiting professor IIM Lucknow and University of Texas at Dallas, USA. He is the founder of Dr. Sharan Consultancy, California, USA. He is the director of Eldo Private Limited, New Delhi. He has done his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad in 1980. He did PhD in 1986. He started teaching and researching business and entrepreneurship since 1984. He published research papers in reputed journals, international seminar proceedings, and chapters in books of readings. He started academic administration phase as dean in 1997, rising to executive director, controlling management and engineering institutes in 2007. Her Highness, Governor of Karnataka, nominated Dr. Sharan to the Senate of Bangalore University in recognition of his distinguished academic contributions. He was visiting professor to University of Texas at Dallas from 2012 to 2019. He also visited Washington State University and President University Indonesia on the invitation of the Dean, Faculty of Business in 2018. He innovated and implemented a unique model to double the turnover with existing infrastructure in one accounting year. He is co-promoter of Institute of Family Business Management Society. He is honorary director of NCR Delhi-based high-tech B2B digital startup. He is also co-founder of OWGI Foundation, which promotes social entrepreneurship ventures. Welcome, Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran on our show. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran, you have heard what Mr. Ramnath Pradeep has mentioned. And you know, we all are celebrating Father's Day. And he mentioned about grandfather's role. Yes, I know you are also a grandfather of a very beautiful granddaughter. We would like to know your views on Father's Day. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran, please.
Thank you, Mr. Goel, for the grand opportunity. Thank you, my co-panelists. And I'll come straight to the theme. What are we celebrating today? Let me keep that in focus. Are we celebrating the noun father? Are we celebrating the verb father? Are we celebrating the actor father? Are we celebrating the provider father? Are we celebrating the real father? Or are we celebrating the myth of a father? To understand all this, last couple days, we have been receiving a lot of interesting WhatsApp posts. So a boy, after finishing college, getting a job, is really worried and goes to his mother and says, Mummy, father is saying, I cannot marry the girl on the 4th floor because she is my sister. Then I can't marry the girl on the ground floor because she is also my sister. Even the girl on the 2nd floor, he says, no, you can't marry. She is your sister. Mother says, what is your problem? What is your problem? You are not his son. Marry anyone you want. So, this is a serious matter. We may take it lightly as a WhatsApp post, but celebrating Father's Day in the context of a WhatsApp post like this one sets us thinking, what exactly are we celebrating? Now, to make the matter light, as Mr. Ramnath Pradeep said, he is father of a boy and a girl. It so happens by coincidence that I am father of a girl and a boy. The girl sent me this as the memento for today. Now, I do not know. It is a new avatar of a famous character in Ramayana. There, that gentleman had 10. Here, this one has 5. I do not know who to credit and who not to credit. And then each of the heads, when we are celebrating Father's Day, again I'll ask, what are we celebrating? Because here you see there are statements. I'll read it to you. One says, आगे का सोचो. The other father is saying, get a haircut. Another version says, इतना महंगा मोबाइल. The next one says, लो मम्मी से बात कर लो. And the best of them is, every day is Sunday for you. Today, incidentally, is a Sunday. So I can tell my children that every day is Sunday for you. So, Mr. Goel and respected panelists, the question comes back to haunt us. What exactly are we celebrating today in the name of Father's Day? Biologically, are we celebrating the 50% partnership with mother? She's provided one cell and I provided one cell, and they combined and an individual was being created under the force of nature. Are we celebrating that single cell contribution? If we are, then we should not have any problem granting equality to the fairer sex gender. In the world, there is a lot of agitation. Women are having movements, feminism, and they're asking for gender equality. They are saying, break the glass ceiling. If I recognize the biological fact when I am celebrating Father's Day, this should be non-issues. Why are they there? It's a biological fact. Only one cell of the two came from me, not the both. Again, if we are celebrating Father's Day, only the noun, the individual, then I cannot ever have continuity in the universe. I have to remember my ancestors in order to take credit for what I am getting on the Father's Day. If I did not do something in the name of my late father, then I am an encroacher on Father's Day, not a rightful occupant. So let us also remind that our value system, the rich value system of the East, of which we are part in the universe, if we divide the whole globe into two hemispheres, East and West, this is our rich culture, that we remember our ancestors. And I appreciate if we remember only the better part of our ancestors. God never made any human being perfect. Our ancestors were no exception. But those values, those behaviors, those actions of our ancestors, which are shining, which ensure our continuity on the planet, those which make sure we do not become dinosaurs, we should also recognize them when we are celebrating Father's Day. Then, coming to the limited time maximization principle, Mr. Goel, what I will say is, now also let us look at the verb father. So a famous poet said, child is the father of man. Yesterday, I had to send a document electronically on which my digital signature was required to be put. I was entering a in-principle agreement with a client of Dr. Sharan Consulting, California. And you see I fathered my daughter so well that despite her very tight schedule, she managed to put that signature in time. Deadline was 2 p.m. Before that date, she sent it. Yesterday was not the Father's Day. Today is. Today she gave this cup. Now she is saying, Father, you were impossible. Fathering that you did, the verb fathering that you did was impossible. But then, still, we won't want it any different. Our co-panelists did say that we have to be role model. God save us. We should not try to be role model of the heroes we are creating and heroines we are creating who we want to be much bigger than us. Set them free. Let their minds grow. Make sure they are going to be best possible. It does not matter if they call me once daily or they call me once in 5 years. What matters in fathering is the damn fool does not put herself or himself in the way of harm. If they are safe and secure, my fathering has been good. Now, the last point, Mr. Goel, is this one. I am, after all, an intellectual by vocation and by persuasion. So, fathering also happens not in the domain of biological children, but also in the domain of our intellectual children, the students we bring up in the world. That can be done only when I recognize powerful ideas and father powerful ideas and concepts. So this is also something worth celebrating on Father's Day. This is little neglected aspect. Let us not only celebrate our biological children, in world we also mentor human beings. Mr. Ramnath Pradeep might have mentored a lot of famous bankers today. Those also are our children, and we have that verb aspect. We fathered those characters, and this is how everything happens. So, in conclusion, today is a very important day, and I'm happy you took the initiative to celebrate it. I hope my thoughts will make it a little more meaningful. With this, I take leave of you. Thank you.
Great. Father, you are impossible, but I want you to be like this, said Dr. Sudhir, which he quoted his daughter who said to him. So, and he says, we do not want to be the hero, let them fly. There is a very famous thing, give them the wings so that children should fly, which whether they call us or not makes hardly any difference. But I know from the core of our heart, we always expect at least one word from them, just to know their well-being, nothing else. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Sudhir, for giving your views on this very, very important day. Dad, a son's first hero, a daughter's first love. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and he is Advocate 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒. Advocate 𝐂𝐂𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 is a renowned social activist and Supreme Court lawyer. He is practicing law for last 42 years on the civil side. He appeared in Supreme Court and Allahabad High Court in several important cases. He is active on various social platforms of the city of Agra. He filed several PILs in Supreme Court regarding the RTI Act, etc. Recently also, he filed a petition relating to road safety. His large number of articles were published in law journals. His articles were also published in many newspapers on various subjects, including environment, RTI, culture, etc. He has varied interest, especially in RTI and environment. Welcome, Advocate 𝐂𝐂𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 on our show. Advocate 𝐍𝐄𝐼𝐒, you have heard Mr. Ramnath Pradeep as well as Professor Dr. Sudhir. Both have given their views, somewhat different views, but definitely, because today is a Father's Day, so the views were on the Father's Day. Now, you are a very successful, very, very, very well-known advocate, not only of Agra, but I must say the Western region. And as social activist, because recently you have taken up a very important case in the form of PIL in Allahabad High Court. I followed that also, where you wanted that the parks which have been left over by the municipal corporation and the state government, they should take the responsibility and upkeep the parks so that the environment as well as the health of the residents of the nearby places can be fit for this thing. You are also very much involved in the culture, which is a very, very important thing. Today we are celebrating Father's Day, and you know as our earlier panelist mentioned, that the Father's Day we are remembering once in 365 days. We would like to know your views on Father's Day, Advocate 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal, for inviting me and for giving me a wonderful opportunity to share my views. I would start with these words. पिता नीम के पेड़ जैसा होते हैं. पिता नीम के पेड़ जैसे होते हैं. उनके पत्ते भले ही कड़वे हों, पर वो छाया हमेशा ठंडी देते हैं. तो पिता को अनुशासन के मामले में माँ के कंपैरिजन में बहुत आगे रखा है. माँ तो हमेशा प्यार बरसाती रहती है, लेकिन पिता अनुशासन का डंडा भी चलाते हैं. इसलिए पिता को नीम के पेड़ जैसी तुलना दी. They compared it with the tree of neem because of the qualities which a father does have. My co-panelists who have expressed their views, they hail from the elite class of the society. We are to think in terms of the entire society as a whole, how father is respected, how father is cared for. In the elite class, the things are different than what we witness in the society as a whole, in the masses. To begin with, first of all, I would say that father is role model. I agree with Mr. Pradeep that father should be role model. What I do is being keenly observed by my children. If I act ethically, if I act honestly, my children would learn that lesson of ethics and honesty from me. My role model does not mean that they cannot go ahead. They can go ahead, but the first lessons of honesty, ethics, behavior, culture, values, that all they learn from home. Therefore, we need to introspect whether we are role model for our children so that they learn good things from us and they become good human beings. Therefore, I agree with Mr. Pradeep that we must prove role model for our children, not in terms of our career, not in terms of success, but in terms of a value system, what values we are going to impart them. Now, coming to the generation gap also, there is a conflict between the younger generation and their parents. Are we giving adequate space to our children? Maybe highly educated people, they give the space, but is it prevalent in other sections of the society also? We need to give space to our children if we want to avoid confrontation with our children. We need to understand that the things are changing. What we learned in our age is not being learned by our children. They are much more advanced. Therefore, we need to learn to give space to our children also in order to have harmonious relations with them. We may not like to go to club every day. They may like. We may not have friends, too many friends. They may like to have more friends. Therefore, their likings, their dislikings, their cultural bringing up may be different than what we had because of the change in the society. Therefore, I would emphasize at this point of time that if we want to have good relations with our children, we need to give space to them. Strict discipline, of course, we need to see that they remain disciplined persons. But discipline cannot be thrust upon. We need always to make them learn in a suggestive way. We need to make them to understand what is good or bad for them. Not always trusting discipline upon them, because that they will not accept from their inner heart. Therefore, I would say that how we behave with our children is much important. What we want to teach, we know, but how we teach, that we do not know. We must know and understand the way we should see that our children adopt the right path. Coming to another feature of the society, that there are disputes between father and mothers, there are matrimonial disturbances, that all does have a very bad impact on the children, whether he's a son or she's a daughter. They suffer a lot because of the sore relationship between father and mother. Therefore, we need to see that once we are parents, what impact our behavior, marital relationship is going to have the impact on the tender minds of our children. I have seen the girls who have refused to marry because they find that their mother was not well treated by father. Therefore, we need to well appreciate and understand that yes, we should have good relations with our spouse, so that our children don't carry a bad image of father, a bad image of a bad spouse, a bad husband. Therefore, that must also be taken care of, and especially for the daughters also, because daughters being more sensitive, they carry a bad impact in case there is so relationship between husband and wife, father and mother. Now, why are there old age homes? We say that we should celebrate Father's Day, but why the old age homes are being there, we must understand and introspect. The children don't want to keep their elderly parents with them. They find that they are burden to them. The father, mother who have brought up their children now are not being taken care of by their young sons or daughters. Why? Ultimately, there is a lack of passing on the cultural, the values to them. Ultimately, what we taught them, we are now facing with that. If we have respected our parents adequately, properly taken care of them, then I'm sure that our children are also going to take care of us. Therefore, what we expect from our children, maybe son or daughter, we should also discharge the same duty towards our parents. Then only things will turn in our favor. Therefore, old age home is not a good system. It is not a part. It has never been a part of the Indian culture. It is some phenomenon of the Western world. Therefore, we need to see that such systems of old age homes does not get encouraged in our metropolitan cities and other cities. In rural areas, I would also mention that the parents are not being properly cared for. The father is not given proper respect by their young sons, and they are not being properly respected. Why? Ultimately, the rural part of our country need also to be taken care of. And we see that we become good parents, ultimately. Good parents would have good children. Therefore, there is a reciprocal relationship. We can't expect our children to respect us if we don't know how to care our children, how to bring up them. The Another thing, what is important is that the fathers remain too busy in their professional works, too busy in their business, and they don't have the time to interact with the children. And that is something very wrong. We are not able, unless we interact with our children and we pass on good values to them, they will not become good human beings. They will not become a good son or good daughter. Therefore, we need to spare time and not overemphasize on our professional works and businesses. But we should have time to talk, to interact, to gossip, to have humor with our children. We should make them our friends so that they can share with us their feelings and they also appreciate our feelings. Therefore, instead of treating them as son strictly, we should treat them as our friends. One more thing, important thing is we should also settle our affairs. As a lawyer, I would like to say that the parents, the father must take care of settling his wealth, his affairs well in time, so that there is no dispute, because ultimately that brings a very bad feeling later on after his demise. Therefore, the fathers must take care that they should bequeath his property, settle his property properly, so that after he goes away, he's remembered with respect, not with any bad feeling of not having settled things during his lifetime. The parliamentary law requiring compulsory maintenance of the parents is also, I will say that is also something not needed in our society. The social change must come. We cannot thrust upon the duty of maintaining parents by law. Law should not be needed. It should be voluntary. It should be the sweet will of the children. Therefore, I would say that we must become good parents if you want to expect good children. And the society as a whole is to be seen. And we need to cherish the aim of Pitra Devo Bhav. But to become Dev, we become good Pita. तो अच्छे पिता बनेंगे तो अच्छे हमारे होंगे, पुत्री भी होंगी. तो आइए हम सब लोग इस अवसर पर, पितृ दिवस के अवसर पर एक दूसरे को बधाई दें, अपने को एक अच्छा पिता सिद्ध करने के लिए उसकी दायित्वों का निर्वाह करें और हम समाज के अंदर एक ऐसी जागृति उत्पन्न करें जहां बच्चे अपने पिता की चिंता स्वयं करें. कानून की सहायता की आवश्यकता पिता को न पड़े. तो लेकिन बच्चों को भी जरूरी है. They also think that once they are married, they forget the duty towards their parents. That may not be correct. So therefore, the society is to bring a change in a way where parents become good parents and children become good children. With these words, I again thank Mr. Lal for inviting me and to give me an opportunity to share my views. Thank you, Mr. Lal.
Thank you very much, Advocate Jain. And Advocate Jain has, as being a legal person, has emphasized 2-3 very, very important things. First is he's against the old age home. Secondly, he mentioned about the legal assistance for the elder persons or the parents or the father for the maintenance in the old age, which is also according to him is wrong. It should be a socially, we should get the awakeness, etc. So according to Advocate Jain, we must change, we must see to it that whether it's a urban or the rural area, the awareness should be there. The people will start living as we were living in our earlier age, when there is no laws to maintain the father. And then only if we will create that awareness, then only we can celebrate, we can say we are celebrating Father's Day. And one important point which he has mentioned is that, yes, we must have the heroship. We must lead the life in such a way that the child will follow us, all the ethics or the values they learned from the father. So the role of father is very, very important. Although he says the father is like a neem ka ped, जो कड़वा होता है लेकिन छाया बहुत अच्छी देता है. Thank you very much, Advocate Jain, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next panelist guest, but before that, a father is neither an anchor to hold us back nor a sail to take us there, but a guiding light whose love shows us the way. And now my next panelist is Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand is the senior psychiatrist and marriage counselor. Dr. Rajiv Anand passed his MBBS in 1976 and did MD in psychiatry in 1980 from King's George Medical College, Lucknow. He opted to serve his country when it was very common to settle abroad for a brighter future. He has been serving society with his base in Mumbai. He has clients all over India as well as in many other countries. He was honored with Lifetime Achievement Award by AMA. He has conducted more than 3,000 workshops for different group and companies with audience size of 10 to 800. His television program on various channels have been widely appreciated for his forthright and practical approach. He is leading in the field of mental and emotional well-being for last 41 years. He was president of IMA for 2 times. He was interviewed in several talk shows domestically and internationally. Welcome, Dr. Rajiv Anand on our show. Dr. Rajiv Anand, our earlier panelists have given their strong views, I must say, on the Father's Day. Although it's a very important day, we are celebrating, but the views which our panelist has mentioned, somewhere it shows that their self-esteem has got something, because everyone knows the father love is the ultimate love, but father never shows that love. But still, there are suggestions which they have given, very, very important points. We would like to know now your views, because being a senior psychiatrist and a marriage counselor, you know the condition from the very beginning after the marriage, the psychology of the father, and how when they become more aged, when the child become a teenager or comes in the 20s, what is the psychology of the father? So we would like to know your views on this very important day, Father's Day. Dr. Rajiv Anand, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal. Good morning to my fellow panelists over here, Dr. Sudhir Sharan, Mr. Verma, Mr. Ramnath ji, and Kishan Jain ji. And I'm privileged to be in the august company of everyone over here. And I heard few very important comments from Mr. Kshitij Jain, and I'm delighted to hear about his views. Now, about Father's Day, what I have been observing individually, personally, as a person, as well as a professional. We all have been worshippers of our mothers. We all have been hearing since our childhood, सबसे बड़ा रोल माँ का होता है, तो जरूर होता है. लेकिन माँ को खुश रखने का रोल किसका होता है? माँ को संतुष्ट रखने का रोल किसका होता है? माँ को सम्मानीय रखने का रोल किसका होता है? माँ के आंख से आंसू ना बहे, माँ हमेशा बहुत सुसंस्कृत, बहुत सुखी नजर आए, माँ हमेशा महसूस करे कि मेरा इस घर में एक सम्मानीय पद है. ये रोल फादर का होता है, और हमें ऐसा लगता है कि इस रोल को बहुत कम जिक्र किया गया. परंपरागत रूप से अगर शुद्ध हिंदी में बोलने का प्रयास किया जाए, जो कि आई एम श्योर सुधीर सरन जी भी एंजॉय करेंगे, वर्मा जी भी एंजॉय करेंगे, चिकित्सा भी एंजॉय करेंगे, कि परंपरागत रूप से हमें ये बताया गया कि हम पुरुष हैं तो हम एक क्राउन लेकर पैदा हुए, हम राजा हैं, और जितने भी लोग हमारे चारों तरफ नजर आते हैं वो हमारी सेवा के लिए हैं. और उस परंपरागत रूप को लेते हुए सारे मर्दों ने अपनी पत्नी को अपनी प्रॉपर्टी के अंदर चाय बना के लाओ, खाना बना के लाओ, पाँव छुओ, पाँव दबाओ, और बच्चों ने वो रोल देखा कि फादर जो है वो राजा हैं और बाकी सब उनकी प्रजाएं जो उनकी सेवा करने के लिए. वेरी बैड रोल मॉडल. जहां बच्चों ने माँ को सम्मानित रूप से नहीं देखा, वहां बच्चों की व्यक्तित्व में वो विकास नहीं हो पाया जो होना चाहिए था. क्योंकि फादर का रोल, मदर का रोल लव प्रोवाइड करने का है, नरिशमेंट प्रोवाइड करने का है, भोजन प्रोवाइड करने का है, सभ्यता प्रोवाइड करने का है, गुड वैल्यू सिस्टम प्रोवाइड करने का है. मगर फादर का रोल अगर हमने उसको अब तक सही तरह नहीं पहचाना, नहीं समझा, तो बेटर लेट देन नेवर. अब समझ लें, बिना फादर के रोल के किसी भी व्यक्ति का पूरा व्यक्तिगत विकास बहुआयामी रूप में यानी मल्टी डायमेंशनल में नहीं हो सकता. इसलिए बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो पढ़ लिख जाते हैं, MBA भी कर जाते हैं, इंजीनियरिंग भी कर जाते हैं, अच्छी अच्छी फैक्ट सैलरी पैकेज भी लेकर आते हैं, लेकिन उनके मन में स्त्रियों के प्रति सम्मान नहीं होता। उनके मन में स्त्री सिर्फ एक शरीर होती है, उसके प्रति वो सम्मान नहीं होता जो शायद उनके मन में एक माँ के प्रति होना चाहिए था। क्योंकि अगर उन्होंने अपने फादर को करते हुए देखा होता, क्योंकि फादर के व्यवहार की छोटे छोटे नुएंस को एक बच्चा CCTV की तरह 24/7 रिकॉर्ड करता है, और जो चीजें बार बार इंप्रेशन होती है माइंड में, सैकड़ों बार नहीं हजारों बार, वो हमारा कैरेक्टर बनाती है। अगर हमारे मुंह से किसी भी स्त्री के प्रति, दुनिया की कोई भी स्त्री हो, किसी भी तरह का व्यवसाय करती हो, चाहे वो किसी कंपनी की CF हो और चाहे वो कुछ और करती हो जिसको बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, अगर हमारे मुंह से उस स्त्री के प्रति कोई अभद्र शब्द नहीं निकल सकता, तो इसलिए नहीं निकल सकता क्योंकि हमने अपने पिता को नहीं सुना, और हमने नहीं बोला क्योंकि हमने अपने पिता को नहीं सुना, तो हमारे बच्चे भी, हमारा सन भी नहीं बोलता कोई भी अभद्र शब्द। तो हम कई बार सोचते हैं कि बहुत सारी आदतें, बहुत सारे गुण हमारे सन में कहाँ से आए, तो हम उस बात को ऑब्जर्व करते हैं कि वो हमारे अंदर इसलिए आए क्योंकि वो हम प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं। हमारे अंदर कहाँ से आए? क्योंकि हमने अपने पिता को प्रैक्टिस करते हुए देखा था। तो फादर का रोल बहुत सटल है और बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट है कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग। पहली बात, मैं सिर्फ 3 बातें कहूंगा। दूसरी बात, हमारी बॉडी की शारीरिक सुंदर तो नजर आता है बाहर की हमारी जो फीचर्स जिसको हम सौंदर्य कहते हैं, मगर हमें ये भी भूलना नहीं चाहिए कि हमारी हेल्थ कितनी अच्छी रहेगी वो है हमारा स्केलेटन, हमारा बोन का सिस्टम, जो हमें पोस्चर देता है, जो हमारी हड्डियों को पूरी तरीके से पोस्चर देता है। तो हमारी बॉडी बिना स्केलेटन के अगर हम क्रिपल रह जाएं, पोलियो विक्टिम हो जाएं, या हमें बचपन में फ्रैक्चर हो जाए और हम सही तरह हील ना हो, तो हम शायद सही तरह खड़े नहीं हो पाएंगे, बैठ नहीं पाएंगे, चल नहीं पाएंगे। तो हमें भी लगता है कि हमारा चेहरा जरूर हमारी माँ के ऊपर गया है, जिसके लिए हम उनको हमेशा याद करते हैं, लेकिन हमें लगता है कि हमारा कैरेक्टर जो है उसमें काफी बड़ा योगदान हमारे पिता का है। क्योंकि जो स्केलेटन है, जो बेसिक स्केलेटन है जिसके चारों तरफ हमारा व्यक्तित्व डेवलप हुआ है, वो कैरेक्टर हमारे फादर का है। हमने जिनको काम करते हुए देखा, कभी थके हुए नहीं देखा, कभी बहुत ज्यादा सुस्त होते नहीं देखा, बहुत ज्यादा आराम करते नहीं देखा, दूसरों के बारे में गलत बातें बोलते हुए नहीं देखा। तो वो चीजें हमारे अंदर इम्बाइब हुई। तो परंपरागत रूप से तो हम भी अपनी माता के भक्त हैं, सभी लोग हैं, हम भी हैं, लेकिन हम उस बात को भी भूलना नहीं चाहते कि जो हमारे पिता का योगदान था। क्योंकि अक्सर मातृभक्ति में हम लोग पितृभक्ति को बिल्कुल नजरअंदाज कर देते हैं कि पिता ने सिर्फ एक स्पर्म दिया है, स्कूल में एडमिट कराने की फीस दे दी है, 2-4 बार डांट दिया है कि पढ़ रहे हो कि नहीं पढ़ रहे हो, पास हुए कि नहीं हुआ। बहुत सारे पिताओं को पता ही नहीं होता बेचारे बच्चे कौन से स्कूल में है, कौन सी क्लास में है। तो हमने उन लोगों को पिकअप कर लिया कि पिता का रोल कुछ नहीं होता। हम उस बात को भूल गए, पिता का रोल बहुत बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। इसलिए वो बेचारे बच्चे जो वंचित रह जाते हैं किसी भी वजह से, जो की संख्या आज की तारीख में बड़े खतरनाक अलार्मिंग प्रोपोर्शन में बढ़ती जा रही है, कि बहुत सारी लड़कियां अपने अपनी मानसिकता की वजह से कि हम इतने लाख कमा सकते हैं, हम अलग रह सकते हैं, तो हमको इस आदमी की जरूरत नहीं है, ये आदमी में ये कमी है, वो कमी, अरे किस आदमी में नहीं थी, किस आदमी में 100 साल पहले या 200 साल पहले किस में कमी नहीं थी, या हमारे में कमी नहीं। मगर अब हम एक कमी को पकड़ के मैग्नीफाई करके बोलते हैं हमें इसके साथ नहीं रहना, हम डाइवोर्स लेंगे, हम सेपरेट हो जाएंगे। और हमें उन माँ पर भी दया आती है और माँ से ज्यादा उन बच्चों पर दया आती है कि क्या उनकी माँ इतनी शॉर्ट साइटेड नहीं है, उनको पता नहीं है कि बच्चे के विकास के लिए आप उसको कुछ भी कर देंगे, किसी अच्छे से स्कूल में डाल देंगे, लेकिन आप उसके लिए पिता कहाँ से लाएंगे? 1 घंटे का पिता लाके खड़ा कर देंगे, 1 घंटे का, 1 दिन का खड़ा कर देंगे। आप किसी को बलवा देंगे तुम्हारे अंकल है, तुम्हारे पापा जैसे, लेकिन उस बच्चे के चरित्र के विकास में तो बहुत बारीकी से, गहराई से पगू रह जाएगा जिंदगी भर के लिए। आप कौन सा सिविलियन पैदा कर रहे हैं, किसको बड़ा कर रहे हैं? तो वहां पिता के रोल को पहचानना समाज के हर इंसान का रोल है, माँ का भी है, मॉडर्न टाइम की लड़कियों का भी है। एक बात मुझे आखिरी में कहनी है, मैंने क्षितिज जैन साहब को, किशन जैन साहब को सुना जिन्होंने होम फॉर द एज्ड के बारे में बात कही। देखिए जैन साहब, मुझे अपना व्यू जो है व्यक्त करने की अनुमति दीजिए। वो ये है, हिंदी बोलने के शब्द जो है मुंबई में रह के बहुत दिन से खो जाते हैं, तो उनको ढूंढ ढांड के, धूल छाड़ के बोलना पड़ता है, और बोलने में एक अलग तरह का आनंद आता है जब सामने सारे हिंदी भाषी हो। तो 50 साल तक 20 साल की उम्र से 65-70 साल की उम्र तक हम सब लोगों ने वो सब कुछ किया जो हमारे बच्चों के लिए जरूरी था। 70%, 80% समय और अपनी कमाई को हमने बच्चों के लिए किया। और अगर हम बच्चे हमारे जितने हैं वो नई दुनिया में, आज बॉम्बे में हैं, कल पूना में हैं, बेंगलोर में हैं, गुड़गांव में हैं, नोएडा में हैं, कैलिफोर्निया में, हैदराबाद में है, वो उनकी जीवन जो है बहुत तेजी से पहिए जो है दौड़ते रहते हैं। हमारे ग्रैंडफादर की तरह नहीं, एक ही शहर में 4-5-6 जनरेशन पैदा हुई थी, बड़ी हुई थी। उस हर शहर में उनकी एक पहचान थी, आइडेंटिटी थी कि भैया फलाने बाबू के में है, इनके पिता कौन थे। तो ऐसे ही जब बच्चे जो है ट्रांसफरेबल पोस्ट में हैं तो माता पिता क्या करें। आप सब लोगों ने वो कहानी सुनी है कि लोखंडवाला के फ्लैट में एक लेडी जिनका बेटा इकलौता यूएसए में सेटल था, वो 6 महीने पहले उनकी डेथ हो गई थी और वो स्केलेटन बन गई थी और बेटे के साथ उनका लास्ट कम्युनिकेशन 1.5 साल पहले हुआ था। क्या ये कहानी हृदय विदारक नहीं है? क्या माँ बाप को घर में ही रहकर सड़ना चाहिए, दुखी होना चाहिए? क्या उनको अपने आखिरी के 5, 10, 15, 20 साल में आजादी की जरूरत नहीं है कि वो किसी के साथ चाय पी सकें, गार्डन में घूम सकें, कैरम खेल सकें, अंताक्षरी खेल सकें, गार्डन में जा सकें, चाहे वो जो गेम खेलना चाहे वो खेल सकें, उन पिकनिक पर जा सके। वो सारी सुविधाएं बड़े शहरों के छोटे फ्लैटों में उपलब्ध नहीं है। हमने उसको एक शब्द दे दिया, होम फॉर द एजेड। एजेड कहते ही हमने स्टिग्मेटाइज कर दिया कि भाई ये तो एजेड है, अब ये अनवांटेड है। हम क्यों ना उस शब्द का कुछ नया शब्द बनाएं, उस कंसेप्ट को नया बनाएं, क्लब फॉर द सीनियर्स क्लब। हम होम फॉर द एजेड वर्ड में एजेड हटा दें। मैं अपने आप को ओल्ड नहीं सुनना चाहता, नहीं बोलना चाहता कि मैं ओल्ड हूं। होगा मेरा शरीर ओल्ड होगा, हो सकता है मेरे अंदर आर्टरीज में वो हो चुका है, एंजियोप्लास्टी हो चुकी है, बाईपास हो चुका है, लेकिन वो कहानी मेरे आर्टरीज की है, मेरे दिल की है, मेरी नहीं है। सुधीर साहब मैं गलत बोल रहा हूँ, सही बोल रहा हूँ? मेरी कहानी नहीं है, शरीर है। शरीर तो अपने आप क्षय होगा ही होगा वक्त के साथ में। मुझे 6 शब्द बहुत दिनों के बाद याद आया, क्योंकि लाल गोयल साहब के फादर का जो हॉस्पिटल था उसका नाम शायद 6 से जुड़ा था ना कुछ, तो 6 शब्द भी बहुत दिन के बाद आए। 6 की बीमारी, टीबी की बीमारी कही जाती थी। तो शरीर तो धीरे धीरे डिजनरेट होगा ही होगा, इंग्लिश का वर्ड भी है उसके बारे में, लेकिन हमारा मन डिजनरेट ना हो, उसके लिए हमें अगर सही क्लब मिलेगा और हमने जाकर देखा, हमने रह कर देखा, हमने वहां लोगों से बात करके देखा कि शायद उससे बड़ी आजादी नहीं मिल सकती कि आप जिससे चाहे बात करें। जरूरी नहीं है कि आपकी उम्र में 70 साल में आप क्या कर लेंगे, किसी से रोमांस करके, बात करके क्या कर लेंगे, कॉफी पीकर क्या कर लेंगे, वॉक करके क्या कर लेंगे, लेकिन आपको ये तो चिंता मुक्त हो जाएगी कि लोग समाज के मेरे बारे में ये नहीं सोचेंगे कि देखो बुड्ढे का दिमाग खराब हो गया। हम उस इंसान को जिसने हमें जीवन के 50 बेहतरीन साल दिए सारे डायमेंशन पर, हम उसको 5-10 साल के सम्मानपूर्ण तरीके से स्वतंत्रता नहीं दे सकते कि भाई तुम अपने समय पर, तुम्हें 2 बार चाय पीनी है 2 बार चाय, 3 बार चाय पीनी है 3 बार चाय, तुम्हें किसी से पूछना ना पड़े कि भाई 1 कप चाय और मिल सकती है। लेकिन वही सीनियर सिटीजन को हम घर में बांध के रखेंगे, तुम घर से बाहर नहीं जाओगे, गिर जाओगे। अरे होम फॉर द एजेड में कोई गिरता नहीं है, सब लोग बड़ी अच्छी हेल्थ में जीते हैं। तुम गाना नहीं गा सकते, सीटी बजाओगे तो घर वाले बोलेंगे क्या रोमांटिक हो रहे हो। तो हम समझते हैं कि थोड़ा सा कुछ उसको रीमॉडल किया जाए। मेरे काफी मित्र हैं जो पिछले 15 साल से मुझे कर रहे हैं, प्रेरित कर रहे हैं कि मैं होम फॉर द एजेड बनाऊं। मैं अभी तक नहीं कर पाया हूँ, मेरी एक्टिव प्रैक्टिस में काफी टाइम चला जाता है, मैं उससे चला नहीं कर पाता क्योंकि वो अपने आप में फुल टाइम चाहिए। अभी भी अगले हफ्ते भी एक जगह जाने का प्रोग्राम है। काफी मित्र हैं जो अच्छी पोजीशन पर हैं, इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हैं, रिटायर्ड चीफ सेक्रेटरी हैं महाराज गवर्नमेंट के, सब लोग इस करें कुछ किया जाए होम फॉर द एजेड सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए। उसके लिए जितना समय और जितना डेडिकेशन चाहिए उतना हमारे पास जब उपलब्ध हो गया तो हम जरूर लॉन्च करेंगे। हम चाहते हैं कि जीवन के आखिरी 5, 10, 15, 20 साल बहुत सम्मान से, बहुत संतुष्ट से जाएं, जो जाने वाला भी इतने आशीर्वाद देकर जाए और बाकी जो पीछे है वो भी कहें हमको भी ऐसा जीवन चाहिए। तब मजा है मेडिकल साइंस के एडवांसमेंट का, तब मजा है हमारे इन सेशन का। बैक टू मिस्टर लाल, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand has started a new dimension of today's day, Father's Day. He says that the old age home which we term, although he says it can be a senior citizens club, is required for the society, because he says now the nuclear family is a necessity. It has become a necessity because of the evolvement or the development of the society every day. And the children have to go from one place to another place, or they are placed in a different cities and different country. Although Dr. Advocate Jain has given the views of different views. And my view is, even if the children are staying anywhere in the world, if they cannot allow their parents to stay with them, then what is the use? After all, parents have also taken care of their grandparents. The children should also take the care of the parents. Yes, what Dr. Rajiv Anand says is right, that if the children feels that they are a burden, if they cannot go out, they cannot have the timely tea, etc., then yes, then it's a different thing. But every senior citizen is in the heart, loves their children and the grandchildren, and that time they want someone to talk to them at least once a day. And if they are away, we have seen many cases where they feel left over. I will tell you my own experience, that I am running a resort, and one party came to me. They says, you charge whatsoever you want, 50 lakhs, 1 crore, keep my parents here till the time they are alive. When they are dead, the money is yours. We don't want money. I said, but why you are spending this much money here? Can't you take care of your parents in the country where you are staying in 1 crore rupees? They can well taken. But the problem is, even the parents, the elders, their expectations are too high. They should know, now they have become elders, they must not have that much expectations. But anyway, this is a very, very vast topic. Definitely, I am going to keep this topic again on the old age home, where we will see the benefits and the demerits of the old age home. And definitely, I will invite all of the today's panelists, and we will discuss. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. And as usual, always you have given a new dimensions. So we will be definitely talking the next time. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to invite my next panelist yet, but before that, a father is someone you look up to, no matter how tall you grow. And my next panelist is Mr. Nimlendu Verma. First of all, I would like to congratulate Mr. Nimlendu Verma. He has been appointed as the chairman of Khadi Vastra Shilpi Kalyan Evam Pension Nyas, which is of Khadi Evam Gramodyog, Government of India. And I was surprised and shocked, rather. I was talking to some of the people that how come a person who is a renowned social activist, fine, he can be, but he is also the spokesperson of Bihar Pradesh Congress Committee. And he has been appointed in a Government of India's institution is bit surprising, but yet it has happened. So congratulations, Mr. Verma, for your new post. He is also the observer of West Champaran. He is member of campaign committee of BPCC. He is the former member of National Working Committee Swaraj Abhiyan and Swaraj India Party. And he is president of Jai Prabha Aspatal Bachao Sangharsh Morcha. Welcome, Mr. Nimlendu Verma on our show. वर्मा जी, अभी आपने सबको सुना और बड़े गौर से मैं देख रहा था, आप सुन रहे थे, पहले आप कार में भी चल रहे थे तब भी सुन रहे थे, सबने अपने अपने व्यूज रखे और बड़े आज का जो टॉपिक है, मैं सोच रहा था फादर्स डे पे क्या बोल पाएंगे सब लोग, पर इतने नए नए डायमेंशंस में बातें आ गई। अब हम आपसे चाहेंगे आप अपने विचार रखें इस फादर्स डे के ऊपर। मिस्टर निमलेंदु वर्मा, प्लीज।
Thank you, GOEL sir, for congratulating me. And I would like to congratulate all my co-panelists, my viewers, and the entire country for Father's Day. In a fastest growing culture of old age home, I agree with you, one must celebrate Father's Day. हमने कभी नहीं सेलिब्रेट किया। हमने एक बार किया था 1998 में, जब मुझे यूरोप जाने का ऑफर मिला था और
उस जमाने के हिसाब से 6,000 यूरो पर मंथ अर्न करने का भी ऑफर मिला था। और माय पेरेंट्स वेर गेटिंग ओल्डर दैट टाइम। तो मैंने उन लोगों से पूछा कि आप भी चलेंगे? बोले नहीं। तो मैंने डिसाइड किया कि अब इनको हमारी जरूरत का समय शुरू हो रहा है, और हम लोगों ने उस प्रोग्राम को कैंसिल कर दिया, हमने और मेरी मिसेज ने। और वो दिन मुझे लगा था कि ये मेरा फादर्स डे है, क्योंकि आज पेरेंट्स को सिर्फ अपने करियर के नाम पे ही दुनिया छोड़ रही है। करियर भी तो बनाना है। किस बात का करियर, किस चीज के लिए करियर? अगर आपके जन्मदाता ही के काम आप नहीं आए, फिर करियर का क्या मतलब बनता है? वैसा करियर को मैं उसके ऊपर लानत फेरता हूं। जरूरत है काम करने की। नाम सिनेमा बना था, पंकज उधास साहब का एक उसमें बड़ा अच्छा गाना था कि घर में भी रोटी है। ऐसा तो था नहीं कि हमारे पूर्वज घर छोड़ के बहुत दूर नहीं जाते थे तो वो बिल्कुल ही पूरे जीवन भूखे रहते थे। ऐसी बात बिल्कुल नहीं है। ये करियर क्या है मुझे आज तक समझ में नहीं आया। कुछ पैसे कमा लेना, खूब बढ़िया फ्लैट ले लेना, उसका खूब बढ़िया इंटीरियर कर लेना, उसमें लग्जरियस लाइफ लीड कर लेना, और जब भी पेरेंट्स की बात करो तो बिल्कुल नजरें झुक जाना। ये तो कोई बात नहीं हुआ, ये लाइफ नहीं है। मैंने उस दिन सेलिब्रेट किया था कि यस, ये मेरा फादर्स डे है। और मुझे फख्र है इस बात का कि मेरी मिसेज ने भी इसमें मुझसे आगे बढ़ के साथ दिया, क्योंकि उनके लिए भी तो ये होना चाहिए था ना कि जेल का फाटक टूटेगा, लालू भैया छूटेगा। हर लड़कियों को ऐसा होता है, लेकिन ऐसा उनके साथ नहीं हुआ। उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, हम लोगों को यहीं रहना चाहिए, और अब उनको जरूरत है। और ये तो पता नहीं होता है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली जरूरत 3 साल के बाद ही हो गई। फादर को स्ट्रोक हुआ, हेमरेज हो गया, लेकिन चूंकि हम लोग थे तो वी मैनेज्ड एंड वी मैनेज्ड नाइसली। कोई दिक्कत नहीं हुआ। उनको कम से कम इनसिक्योरिटी तो फील हुआ ही नहीं, क्योंकि बेटा तो साथ में था ना, बहू भी साथ में थी, और पूरा हुजूम साथ था। तो आज जो हमारे ओल्डर पर्सन जो है, वो जो बीमार पड़ रहे हैं, वो लोनलीनेस के कारण बीमार पड़ रहे हैं। फादर्स डे मनाना चाहिए इस सोसाइटी को, सिर्फ 19 जून को नहीं, एवरी डे। कम से कम एक बार तो याद करो, कम से कम खैर हाल पूछो। तो बहुत व्यस्त हो, पूरे दिन और पूरी रात काम कर रहे हो, कोई देख रहा है अगला जनरेशन वाला, तुम्हारे साथ भी वही ट्रीटमेंट करेगा। तो ये फादर्स डे नहीं है, ये तो झूठा फादर्स डे है। हाँ, बच्चों के लिए है, क्योंकि उनको तो दिन दुनिया का पता नहीं, बेचारे बिल्कुल इनोसेंट है। उनको लगता है कि मेरे हीरो का डे है, आज तो कुछ कर लो, ठीक है ना, उनके लिए है। लेकिन व्हाट अबाउट दोज पीपल हु आर मैच्योर्ड? आप उनके बारे में सोचिए। अपनी दुनिया में खोए पड़े हैं और पेरेंट्स को ही भूल गए, तो वो इस फादर्स डे का कोई फायदा नहीं है। मैं डॉक्टर आनंद की बात से इतना खुश हूं कि डॉक्टर साहब ने इतनी बातें रखी, जैन साहब ने इतनी बातें रखी, डॉक्टर शरण ने इतनी बातें रखी, प्रदीप साहब ने इतनी बातें रखी, और मैं आपके इस इनिशिएटिव से खुश हूं। आपने इस बात पर चर्चा करने का और पूरे इंडिया को सुनने का मौका तो दिया। कितने इंपॉर्टेंट लोगों के बारे में आज बात हो रही है, जिनकी वजह से आज हम हैं, हमारा वजूद है उन्हीं की वजह से, टॉप टू बॉटम हम उन्हीं की वजह से इस धरती पे हैं। और जब हम सक्षम हो जाते हैं, हम अपने पेरेंट्स को ही भूल जाते हैं। ये नहीं होना चाहिए। होना ये चाहिए, अगर 4 रोटी है और मदर फादर और मियाँ बीवी हो तो सब एक एक रोटी खा लो। उस खुशी का ना ताज पैलेस में बैठ के खाए हुए बिरयानी से ज्यादा मजा आएगा, क्योंकि वो उसमें आपके मदर फादर का आशीर्वाद मिलेगा और उनको हमेशा ये लगेगा कि मेरे बच्चे मेरे साथ है। आज तो कल्चर ही दूसरा होता जा रहा है कि माँ बाप को साथ रखना ही नहीं है। ये कौन सी बात हो गई? उनका विश हो, कहीं जाना हो, घूमने जाना हो, किसी और बेटे के यहाँ, किसी और बेटी के यहाँ कुछ दिन अकेले रहने का मन हो, उस सब कुछ उनके विश के हिसाब से कीजिए। लेकिन अब तो सच में बागवान ही बना रहे हैं। बच्चन साहब ने तो करके दिखाया था। ये क्या है? ये विकास नहीं है, विनाश है हमारा। और एक बात और जान लीजिए, आप जो कर रहे हैं आपके बच्चे उसी को फॉलो करेंगे। हमारे यहाँ कहा जाता है बढ़े पुत्र पिता के धर्म से। आप हमेशा सोचें कि आप किस धर्म का पालन कर रहे हैं, और फिर एक ना एक दिन तो आप भी उस एज में आएंगे, हम सारे लोग उस एज में आएंगे, पूरी दुनिया उस एज में आएगी। फिर दूसरे से क्यों एक्सपेक्ट करते हो? तो फादर्स डे एवरी डे मनाना चाहिए, मदर्स डे एवरी डे मनाना चाहिए। मैं तो कहता हूं कि वाइफ डे भी एवरी डे मनाना चाहिए, क्योंकि मैं उस मां की बात करता हूं जिसके वजह से फादर भी हैप्पी रहते हैं। तो मां क्या करती है? जब बेटी रहती है तो किसी के कब्जे में रहती है, जब बहन होती है तो कोई अपना कब्जा जमाना चाहता है, जब बीवी होती है तब तो गुलामी हो जाती है, मां होती है तो भी कोशिश कम नहीं होती है, और जब दादी हो जाती है तब भी पोता कहता है कि दादी तुम ये करो और ये ना करो। ये कौन सा खेला है? क्या वो बिल्कुल बेवकूफ होते हैं जिसने आपको हमको जन्म दिया है? तो आप फादर और मदर और साथ में वाइफ, क्योंकि वो भी आज जो आपकी वाइफ है वो भी किसी की मदर है, और किसी के फादर को हैप्पी अगर रखी है तो सारा श्रेय उसी को जाता है। तो इसलिए परिवार को बांध के रखने की जरूरत है। ये फादर को अलग नहीं करना चाहिए, और फादर्स डे अलग से नहीं बनाना चाहिए। ये तो फैमिली डे मनाना चाहिए। और जब फैमिली डे मनाएंगे तो हमारे फादर हैं, मदर है, भाई है, बहन है। मुझे ना जब मैं 40 साल का हो गया तो किसी ने पूछा कि आपके फैमिली में कितने लोग हैं? तो मैंने कहा कि मैं हूँ, मेरे 2 बड़े भाई हैं, एक बहन है। बोले नहीं आपकी फैमिली। यार मेरी फैमिली, उस समय जिस समय थे उस समय फादर मदर भी थे। तो बोले नहीं मैं आपकी फैमिली के बारे में पूछ रहा हूं। तब मुझे पता चला कि मियाँ बीवी बच्चे को और साथ में कुत्ते का बच्चा भी एक रखता है, उसको फैमिली आजकल माना जाता है। सैल्यूट है इस कल्चर को। मैं अपने को बारा नहीं खाता। अपने को बारा तो पूरे गांव के साथ, पूरे मोहल्ले के साथ बैठ के टीवी देखने वाला कल्चर बारा खाता है। एक मोहल्ले में एक टीवी हुआ करता था हमारे यहाँ, और सारे फादर और फादरली लोग इकट्ठे होते थे, और उसमें न्यूज भी होता था और चित्रहार भी होता था और कृषि दर्शन भी हम लोग नहीं छोड़ते थे, क्योंकि टीवी पर कोई प्रोग्राम हो उसको बस देखना ही देखना है। और वो जो मजा मिला ना, आज बहुत लग्जरियस लाइफ हम लोग जी रहे हैं, वो उस मजे के लिए तरस रहे हैं। इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ फैमिली डे मनाओ, एवरी डे मनाओ, हैप्पी रहो, जो है उसी में खुश रहो, करियर के पीछे मत भागो, जिंदगी तुमको छोड़ के भाग जाएगी। धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद निमलेंद्र वर्मा जी। And Mr. Verma said that every day celebrate Family Day, don't celebrate Father's Day or Mother's Day separately. And he is of very, very strong views that the children should take care of their parents, and the parents have taken care of the children. And that's, I also agree with this, that if you are earning money, why, if you can take care of your own children, why you are not taking care of your own parents? After all, you are the children of them also at one time. Thank you very much, Mr. Verma. Now, in the next round, as usual, I have to ask some questions as a devil's advocate or not, whatsoever. But time is short, so I want a very, very short answers of my question. First question goes to Mr. Ramnath Pradeep. Mr. Ramnath Pradeep, my question to you is, Mr. Ramnath Pradeep, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, please switch on your video.
Yeah.
We can't see you. Mr. Pradeep, yeah. My first question to you is, who is more important, father or mother?
According to me, mother is the most important, because she takes care of a father, she takes care of a son or a children. So mother is certainly very most important rather than the father.
Okay, thank you very much. Now my question goes to Dr. Sudhir Saran. Dr. Sudhir Saran, कहा जाता है कि लड़की पिता को प्यार करती है और बेटा माँ को करता है. We would like to know from you, who is more closer to the father, daughter or son, and why?
व्यक्तिगत अगर कहूँ तो बिटिया रानी ज्यादा लगी रहती हैं, बिना बोले समझ जाती हैं, और मनु को थोड़ा समझने में टाइम लगता है. और उसके बाद से क्रिस्टीन अगर थोड़ा घुमा दे तो उनको और मुश्किल होती है. तो उनकी जिम्मेदारियां कुछ अलग हैं. प्रकृति ने बना रखा है ऐसा कि बेटियां पिताजी के लिए बहुत कीमती होती हैं. अब प्रकृति ने बना रखा है तो मैं उसको स्वीकार ही करूं तो अच्छा है, उससे झगड़ा करने में कोई फायदा नहीं.
Okay, thank you very much. Advocate Jain, now my question to you is, in India, because you have mentioned about the legal position, in India we have seen recently for last say about 20 years or so, many laws have come to give more importance to the women, and that's creating more rift among the family, because as Dr. Rajiv Anand also mentioned, that the girl feel that why should I have a legal provision, I will take divorce and go and I will take care of my children as a single mother. This is an alarming situation. I am sure you being an advocate, you also understand, you might have seen the situation is alarming. Don't you think that man, and especially the father, is in a back foot today because of the legal provisions, and which is creating more rift in our society? What you say about this, Advocate Jain? Please,
Mr. Lal, the provision for the power of the father to bequeath his properties gives him the discretion to give his properties after his death to the person he wants, whether she's his daughter or he's his son. Therefore, mere providing the provisions of intestate succession and giving rights to the daughters, whether married or unmarried, would not create problem for the father. But I do admit that the society is to bring a change in their mindset, giving rights to the women equal to the man, because a girl does not get properties from her husband unless her husband is no more. She does not get property. If she doesn't get property from her father, she would not have the property. She would not have property from her father-in-law also. Therefore, a woman is practically without properties or resources unless she is self-earning. Therefore, we need to change at this juncture to empower women by giving the father's property. Like father would give property to his daughter, her husband's father would give property to his daughter.
Advocate Jain, I will just cut you here, but I would want to know how the misuse of 498 section has created a rift in the family. The daughter or the daughter-in-law feels that, okay, I have a very good legal provision. I can put the entire husband and the family in the problem. And that's why the problem is started for the more divorce. And the child, who is the sufferer, is the child. Because when he or she sees the situation among the condition with the family, don't you think we must have some law to create its equality instead of creating a rift among the family?
In fact, the women have suffered a lot in past, and therefore the legislature intervened to empower the women too much. Now it is for the society to take a call, the women have to take a call that they don't misuse the provision. If the provision will stand misused for a longer time, then again the legislature would intervene to deprive the women from our powers given in the provisions of law. Therefore, ultimately, they have to take a call for it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Advocate Jain. Now my question goes to Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand, everyone says माँ का दुलारे बच्चे होते हैं, माँ ही सब कुछ है, माँ देवी है। बाप का कभी भी देवता का दर्जा नहीं दिया गया, माँ को देवी माना गया। पिता को कभी देवता नहीं माना गया। पिता को बल्कि कई बार, अभी जैसे डॉक्टर सुधीर सर ने शुरू में वो दिखाया कि 5 सर है, तो मुझे लगा कि क्या हम लोग रावण वाली कैटेगरी में कि 5 कट गए 5 बचे हैं क्या? साइकोलॉजी ये जो है ये बच्चे को शुरू से दी जाती है या मतलब व्हाई इट इज दैट, इज इट ए साइकोलॉजी इनिशियल जो हम लोग भर रहे हैं बच्चों में कि माँ ही सब कुछ है, बाप कुछ नहीं है। और इसका नतीजा ये होता है कि जब बच्चे बड़े होते हैं तो भी वो माँ के साथ ज्यादा क्लोजनेस फील करते हैं। फादर अपने में, मैं जानता हूं आप लोग बोलना नहीं चाहते, लेकिन मैं जानता हूं एज ए फादर और एज ए ग्रैंडफादर, उसका जो दर्द होता है अंदर, जो मन में, वो कितना भी बड़ा बन जाए, कितना बड़ा आदमी हो, कितना बड़ा प्रोफेशनल हो, कितना बड़ा एजुकेशनिस्ट हो, उसके लिए बच्चे का दर्द ही होता है। जब बच्चे को चोट लगती है, बच्चा कहीं भी गिरता है, तो फादर को दर्द होता है, वो रोता नहीं है, नहीं प्रकट करता। आप क्या बताना चाहेंगे एज ए साइकियाट्रिस्ट, डॉक्टर राजीव?
मिस्टर लाल, आपकी माँ की वंदना के बारे में जितना भी आपने शब्द इस्तेमाल किए वो सब सर माथे पर, हम उस सारे विचारों के कायल हैं, सम्मान करते हैं। लेकिन ठीक उसी तरह जैसे कि दिन और रात एक दूसरे से अलग नहीं होते, एक दूसरे में कंटिन्यू होते हैं, वैसे ही माँ और पिता दोनों का रोल है। किसी एक रोल को हम एक के ऊपर रखकर अपने अंदर न्यूरोसिस क्रिएट करें, अपने अंदर मानसिक असंतुलन क्रिएट करें, उसको भी रोकना और समझना जरूरी है। दोनों का अपना अपना रोल है। हम सब बचपन से सुनते आए हैं, सीता राम, शिव पार्वती और भी बहुत सारे नाम, विष्णु लक्ष्मी। तो ऐसे ही हमने भी मन में मान के चला है माता पिता। माता भी हमारे लिए बहुत वंदनीय थी और हमारे पिता भी। तभी तो एक शब्द बना है कि पिता तुल्य हैं। आपको बहुत सारे लोग बोलते होंगे आप मेरे पिता तुल्य हैं, इसका मतलब पिता कुछ स्टैंडर्ड रखते होंगे, उनके स्टैंडर्ड आप में नजर आते होंगे।
थैंक यू वेरी मच डॉक्टर राजीव आनंद। नाउ माय लास्ट क्वेश्चन वर्मा जी आपसे है। आप सोशल एक्टिविस्ट हैं, पॉलिटिकल लीडर हैं, आप क्या एक संदेश देना चाहेंगे युवा पीढ़ी को कि क्या उन्हें करना चाहिए? क्योंकि जो एक प्रश्न आता था, हालांकि आज वो टॉपिक नहीं है फादर्स डे, लेकिन बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। आज बच्चे बाहर जाते हैं, विदेशों में रह रहे हैं या दूर बड़े महानगरों में रह रहे हैं, सबको प्रॉब्लम है, छोटे छोटे घर है, फ्लैट है, जैसे डॉक्टर राजीव आनंद ने कहा। क्या आप क्या संदेश देना चाहते हैं? क्या बच्चे वहां नहीं जाएं और वो वहीं रहें, अपनी प्रोग्रेस नहीं करें? उन्होंने एमबीए कर लिया है, डिग्री ले ली, बड़ी बड़ी डिग्री ले ली, उनको वहां जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है। आप क्या एक संदेश देना चाहते हैं? 1 मिनट है वर्मा जी आप।
सबसे पहले जो आपने प्रदीप साहब से क्वेश्चन किया था उसको वापस लीजिए कि माँ पिताजी में सब दोनों में कौन क्लोज होते हैं। ये डिवाइड एंड रूल वाली पॉलिसी बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगी। सही रूप से अगर आप देखना चाहते हैं तो महादेव का अर्धनारीश्वर का रूप आप देखें और तब आपको पता चलेगा कि माँ और पिताजी इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं। मैं तो दोनों के लिए बराबर ही रोया था, कोई कम नहीं होता है। और अपने बच्चों को भी अगर आप देखेंगे तो उनको ये कोई विषय ही नहीं है कि दोनों में इंपॉर्टेंट कौन है। दोनों लाइफ में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है और इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट है। अब जहां तक आपने संदेश की बात जो कही है गोयल साहब, मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं कि करियर हो सकता है मजबूरी हो, लेकिन जैसे पिताजी अपने ट्रांसफर के साथ साथ अपने बच्चों को साथ लेके चलते थे, कम से कम अगर मजबूरी हो तो माँ बाप को भी अपने जो न्यूक्लियर फैमिली आजकल जिसको फैमिली माना जाता है, उनको भी पूरी फैमिली को साथ लेकर के चलना चाहिए। अन्यथा जीवन पूर्ण नहीं होगा, बाद में रोने के अलावा कोई दूसरा विकल्प नहीं बचेगा।
ओके, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद वर्मा जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सो व्यूअर्स, यू हैव सीन टुडे we are celebrating Father's Day. All our panelists are very, very successful in their field, different fields. And we try to bring them to give their views on Father's Day. And they have given very, very strong but meaningful views today. I'm sure today's program is quite enlightened. And if we will start respecting father as we are, and we have to respect mothers also. We both mothers and fathers, and definitely the grandparents, because once that the stage is, then only the society can be completed. Otherwise, what is happening today in Western countries or in India is a very, very alarming thing. We must stay together. We must think together. Even if you are staying away, at least with the new technology, talk to them every day, be closer, take their views. After all, father has not spent their time cutting the grass. Rather, they have lots of experience, which the child or the children can get advantage of it. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Caru News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Now se Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And we are trying our best to bring to you, but because due to my preoccupation, I am not coming every day right now, but definitely very shortly, I will be coming every day to come out with lots and lots of more thought-provoking subjects where we will take the views of all the experts. Thank you all the viewers, and thank you Mr. Ramnath Pradeep. Thank you Dr. Sudhir Saran, Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran. Thank you Dr. Rajivan. Thank you Advocate Kishan Jain. And thank you Mr. Verma for giving your views, and thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.